is WhisperSister. I just wanted to make a proper introduction video to what seems like it might very well become a series of videos. The Rune stone reading videos that I mentioned, and I've gotten a few requests for readings, and I've done one now already, and it was a lot of fun to do, and I think it was well received by the person who requested it, so that's encouraging, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't really, we'll have to see how accurate they are, because it's kind of difficult to do a reading for someone who, for people that I don't know, and asking for guidance in situations that I'm not, aware of. Then again, it may not be necessary for me to know, because I'm not really doing anything per se. But anyway, I'll get into that in a second. So basically, I just wanted to describe what I think the runes are good for, like what their function is, how I use them, and how when I do a reading, how I go about choosing the stones that I draw, and how I propose to make these videos. And so I'll probably just ask that anyone who is interested in a reading would listen to this video first to just get an idea of what it is all about. So, the rune stones that I have are not actually stone, they're made out of antler, and you can see them in the first video that I did, and I'll put a link to that in the description of this, so you can sort of check that out as a sample of a reading. I've had them for, I don't remember exactly, but at least a good 10 years or more, and I used to use them a lot when I was like a teenager and, early 20s, and then I kind of stopped over the last however long, and just have started using them again this last year. And I use them primarily to ask for guidance and insight into situations when I'm confused and overwhelmed, or just need something to think about. And I guess the sense that I have is that it's a really good tool for kind of quieting my mind, centering myself, and opening up my mind to be sort of willing to receive guidance or some kind of teaching, even though the teaching is really coming from within anyway. I think it's kind of tapping into my deepest understanding and intuition, which I think we all have, and I find it most useful when I can, when I'm in need of gaining some perspective on a situation that I'm maybe not seeing all sides of, if that makes any sense. Like, a lot of the time it'll tell me things that aren't necessarily pleasant, but if I'm honest with myself, and if I can kind of see things from a bit broader view, and not be so set on having the situation unfold exactly the way I want it to, then I can usually see how whatever the insights are that are presented are usually very accurate, even when they're not necessarily what I result of ideas that are kind of raised when I do these readings, and then I sit and think about things all day in the background, and then, that's where I get a lot of the subject matter, I guess, for some of my videos that are more just like exploring ideas and stuff like that. Okay, so anyway, I'm getting off topic, sorry, but that's just how I use them. How I plan to use them for this is, basically, if you just want basic guidance for your life, just a general, something to think about, that's one way to do it. If you have a specific issue, and you want to tell me what that is or not, we can also do it that way. I'm actually going to read a couple little excerpts from this book that with the author explaining his take on the runes and how they should be used. And I'll probably finish this video with that. But before I do that, I just wanted to say one small disclaimer. This book has been criticized by some of the sort of more traditional scholars, I guess, or just followers of the rune stones, because it's not based on the traditional meanings or order of this, what's basically an alphabet. The rune stones originated, I think, in Iceland. They're Scandinavian carvings that were found in stone, and there was a more traditional interpretation, which I've only just recently become aware of. I didn't realize that. I've just always used this book, but lately I've been just checking into it a little bit more, and I've heard a few people say that it's not like the standard, widely accepted official interpretations of these stones. So I'm actually going to probably look into it a bit more, and there's a couple of books that I might pick up that might be a little bit different, so that the meanings might be a little bit different. But I'm not going to let that stop me from using this book right now, because I've always found it to be very helpful, regardless of whether it's the so-called official version or whatever. And I do actually, I kind of like the way that the author approaches the runes, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. And for these readings, I'm just going to pretty much read exactly what the interpretation is. So like I said, I'm not really doing anything, like I don't have all the meanings memorized or anything like that. I still have to read the book. What I might do, though, is just because I've been using these regularly for a while, and I've, drawn these stones myself over and over and kind of had a chance to apply some of the meanings to my own situations in my life. So if any kind of, my own personal experience with what the meanings have led me to think about, or just if anything pops into my head that may be relevant, I'll share that in the reading as well. But I don't really want to impose my thoughts or theories on other people's readings, because it's really not my place to do that. So I'm pretty much going to try and stay out of it and just read what's in the book and let you make your own connections and your own associations with whatever it is that you're asking about, for the people who are getting readings done. So let me just read a couple little... Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say is, in terms of, I guess, confidentiality or anonymity, there's a couple different ways that we can do the readings, and it's just basically whatever you're most comfortable with, and also whatever you're asking. So just let me know if you're okay with me mentioning your name, like for so-and-so. Or not, I can leave it out, doesn't matter. Let me know if you have a specific issue in mind, or just a general, general guidance kind of thing. And if you do have an issue in mind, let me know if you are okay with me mentioning it in the video, because I don't have to. If you'd rather I didn't, I can just read what's in the book and not really mention what it's referring to or whatever. And if you're really concerned, if it's something really personal or private that you don't want mentioned in a video, I can do a private video as well. But I would prefer to do them public if you're okay with it, because then people can hear them, for one thing, which may help other people, or they can hear examples of what the readings are like. So, yeah, basically any concerns like that you have, just let me know when you ask for the reading, and we can just make sure that you're comfortable with the video. And, yeah, I don't really know, I think it would, for me, I'm just, off the top of my head, I think it would be useful if I knew your name, just your first name, because then I can kind of, at least in my mind, try and sort of, again, I have no idea what I'm doing, I'm just sort of winging it, but I've only ever done readings for myself, and my mom and Sam, so, that's my best friend, so, you know what I mean, I'm not really sure how to, ask on someone else's behalf, but I think if I had a name, and then anything about you that you might think is relevant, then by all means let me know. Okay, so I'm just going to finish this off quickly by reading a couple little blurbs out of this book, and then I will be, then I think that'll be pretty much all the information I need to give. So you guys can listen to this, and if you're interested, feel free to ask me for a reading, send me a message or comment, and if not, then that is also cool. So, okay, so here, this is from the introduction, and so this is all, everything I'm about to read is out of the Book of Runes by Ralph Blum. Okay, the Book of Runes is offered as a handbook for the spiritual warrior. Free of anxiety, radically alone, and unattached to outcomes, the spiritual warrior practices absolute trust in the struggle for awareness, and is constantly mindful that what matters is to have a true present. It takes a long time to grow in wisdom, to say nothing of the time it takes to learn to think well. Following the way of the spiritual warrior is not for everyone, although it is available to all who are willing to undergo its challenges. To embark on such a path is to cultivate the witness self, the watcher within, the one who can profitably converse through the runes. Okay. Sorry, okay. It is my firm conviction that the runes as adapted here for the contemporary runecaster are not meant to be used for divination or fortune-telling. The disposition of the future is in God's hands, not ours. Rather, the runes are a tool for assisting us to guide our lives in the present, for it is only in the present that our power can be exercised. The runes are an instrument for learning the will of the divine in our lives, a means of listening to that part of ourselves that knows everything we need to know for our lives now. As a method of guidance and self-counseling, the runes assist us to navigate unfamiliar waters when the old charts no longer serve, and we are required to be our own cartographers. Here then is a tool for keeping us on course, on track, but first and foremost the runes are a training device for strengthening the intuition, which I suggest is everyone's put you in touch with your own inner guidance, with that part of you that knows everything you need to know for your life now. Experiencing a true present is something most of us find extremely difficult. We waste a good part of our lives dwelling on past regrets and fantasies of the future. In my own life, when I jog or drive long distances, I find I am often busy reviewing ideas, sorting agendas, going over options and possibilities. Then I catch myself. I realize that miles of countryside have slipped by unseen, that I am not aware of breathing the air, not aware of the trees, the breeze, the contours and colors of the land. Nowadays I catch myself more and more frequently, which is a start. The roof brain chatter is slowly being replaced with a stillness that keeps me in the present. Once the momentum is broken, the habit will soon wither. We have only to remember, in the spiritual life we are always at the beginning. Remembering this helps us to overcome our addiction to getting ahead, for when we experience a true present, that is where everything happens. Consulting the runes enables you to bypass the strictures of reason, the fetters of conditioning, and the momentum of habit. For the brief span of interacting with the oracle, you are declaring a free zone in which your life is malleable, vulnerable, and open to change. Okay, the rest of that is probably not useful. And then this part here, appropriate issues. Now this is important, I think. An appropriate issue is anything that relates to timeliness and right action. You might require advice on whether or not to make a career change, sell a business, make an investment, move to a new home, terminate or initiate a relationship. Notice that the word issue is used rather than question. A question might be, should I end this relationship? To state the matter as an issue, you would say, the issue is my relationship. Instead of asking, should I accept this new job, you might say, the issue is my work. This small distinction is crucial. If you ask a question and the oracle provides the answer, then your role is a passive one. However, if you address an issue and the oracle comments on that issue, this allows you to extract your own answer and determine for yourself what is right action. If you don't have a specific issue in mind and still you feel drawn to consult the runes, simply ask, what do I need to know for my life now? The oracle's reply will always be timely and instructive. He talks about runic override. It says, occasionally you may find that the counsel you receive doesn't apply to your issue. When this occurs, consider the possibility that the runes are addressing a more significant or more timely issue, something you are avoiding, or something of which you are not consciously aware. This runic override seems to be an automatic fail-safe device. Similarly, if you find yourself caught between two issues and can't decide which one to address, don't worry, the runes, which is to say your own inner knowing, will select for you by addressing the most immediate concern. Okay, and then this part's also important. It talks about reversed readings because some of the symbols are the same whether they're drawn right side up or upside down, but a lot of them are different, and that changes the meaning slightly. Upright and reversed readings. 9 of the runes read the same regardless of how you draw them from the bag. The other 16 can be read either upright or reversed. The reversed reading draws attention to aspects of a situation that might impede movement. Okay, so for example, the rune of movement, upright looks like this, and reverse looks like this. It's got pictures. Okay, and then the reversed reading draws attention to aspects of a situation that might impede movement, or to the fact that movement itself might be inappropriate at this time. indication that care and attention are required for your conduct to be correct. A reversed reading often signals an opportunity to challenge some aspect of your behavior, some area in your life which until now you have been unwilling to face. Whether you draw your rune upright or reversed, it is always a good idea to read both interpretations. Doing so will put you in touch with all aspects of the situation, including that which is not currently being expressed. You'll see what I mean as I do readings when they come upside down. Okay, and then at our best, each of us is a channel through which divine wisdom flows, and we are sensitive to the inner guidance that provides us with the intuitive knowing we require. But life can be hard and difficult, and we are not always clear. The channels that we are become blocked with fears, silted up with self-doubt. We do not always hear the still small voice that is our natural inheritance. The runes are available to be used as a bridge to your knowing self. When contemplating a rune chosen to eliminate a particular issue, remain clear about one thing. You are not depending on the oracle to solve your problems for you. Images and thoughts will come to mind, image ideas that will provide you with the necessary clues as to what constitutes timely right action. Working with the oracle in this way, you will fund a new sense of confidence, a new kind of courage. Okay, so that, in a nutshell, is how I intend to use this book and the runes to do readings for you guys, those of you who want them. So thank you for taking the time to listen to this video if you're interested. Basically anybody who asks me, I'm going to send them a link to this video and ask them to listen to it so that I know that they are aware of what it is that I'm trying to offer, and what I'm not offering, which is, firm answers or any kind of knowledge that you don't already have, because I obviously don't have knowledge that you don't already have, so all I can do is try to present some ideas, some wisdom, I guess, that hopefully will be relevant for you. So I think I've covered everything I wanted to say about these readings, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. It might not be really possible to do readings over the internet, but I'm definitely willing to give it a shot, so we'll see how it goes. And if anyone out there is interested in if any of you guys use runes or tarot cards or any of that kind of stuff, I'd be interested to hear your experiences with them, how you use them, and that kind of thing. Yeah, it's fun. I really like making a habit of this kind of thing because it just keeps me, this is a big part of what keeps me always kind of pondering things and always, entertaining ideas, and I really like that, so I just thought I would try and share it with you guys if I can, and if not, well, that's okay too. So anyways, hopefully that makes sense, and yeah, I guess that's it. I hope everybody is doing